Let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Matt Mauro, who has this morning's headlines, and I know he is going to keep it really serious for us.
Yeah, you know, ladies, I wish I could say this a joke, and I'm sure you could say the same thing about Steve Alford. You heard about this. He's jumping ship, going from the Lobos over to UCLA. Can you believe it?
It's shocking.
I was shocked Saturday morning when I saw that. That was like one of the first things I saw in the morning, and I was like,
I know.
What, this is an April Fool's.
I
was doing like the days of the week
joke.
trying to figure it out.
It was blasting on social media, and and then I turned on the TV and it was everywhere, even nationally. So it's so disappointing, but you know, of course, we still wish good things for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, as you mentioned, national headlines. It's what UNM made after the news surfaced that Lobo men's basketball coach Steve Alford basically saying adios. He's leaving Lobo land for a new deal with UCLA. TV stations, websites, blogs, everything buzzing all across the country with the announcement and opinions on Alford's decision to leave the Lobos. In fact, one article is titled, "Alford hire might not be sexy, but it is solid." Now, it doesn't matter what the opinion is at this time. The deal is done. Alford says it is done. He's going to join UCLA for the next 7 years, averaging at least $2.6 million per year. UNM's associate coach Craig Neal is going to take over the reins for the Lobos for now. Now, you remember, less than 2 weeks ago, Steve Alford agreed on paper what's called a term sheet to a 10-year, $20 million deal with the Lobos. Today, the buyout of his UNM contract would have gone up to $1 million. Instead, his buyout for the old contract, somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000. Now, that is what UNM Athletics office is saying, but Athletic Director Paul Krebs could not disclose exactly how much Alford is going to have to pay to jump ship.
There was a letter of agreement signed. Is that a contract? Is where, you know, our lawyers. Here's what I know, Jeff. Coach's old contract had a buyout in it, and the new contract that was being written based off a letter of agreement had a buyout in it. One way or the other, there's a buyout. How much that is, Steve and I haven't talked about it. Our respective lawyers haven't talked about it, so I can't tell you what that number is.
Well, you know what? It almost really doesn't matter what that number is because there's a good chance UCLA is going to pick it up anyway. Of course, stay with News 13 for the latest on Alford and then the search to find a new head coach for the Lobos. There is other news in Albuquerque. Yes, there really is. Tonight, City Council is going to go head-to-head on one headache of an issue. They're still debating about whether to add a roundabout or not to Rio Grande and Candelaria. It's where there have been a lot of crashes in the past couple years. Opponents say roundabouts are a bad idea. They're expensive to install, and they actually limit the number of cars that can go through the intersection. They really slow things down. But on the other hand, supporters say roundabouts are cheaper and they don't need as much upkeep as traffic lights. And Albuquerque's fire department could be on the way to getting a lot more life-saving equipment if the city council gives it the green light tonight. Firefighters want to spend $1 million for advanced paramedic equipment, including EKG monitors. All of that stuff is on 20 ambulances right now, but the fire department wants to put it on 22 fire trucks as well so it can get to you faster when there's an emergency. The fire department already has this $1 million in its savings account. It just wants a green light from the city council. And are you thinking about adopting a cat but aren't sure that its habits will go ahead and mix with yours or the pets you already have? Well, now you have a spying eye into the lives of felines with AdoptACam. It's a 24-hour online camera inside a room at the Albuquerque Humane Society. The shelter is one of 5 in the country that have these cat cams. The camera and streaming services are all donated by AdoptACam program. The Animal Humane hopes the new program will get more people to adopt cats. If you want to see what this looks like, just go to krqe.com and search under news links, and you can keep yourself busy for a very long time. That wraps up your headlines. Be sure to catch more with Kristen Van Dyke, Elizabeth Alvarez, that's her name, and myself every weekday morning from 4:30 to 7 on KRQE. Ladies, go get yourself some cat cam, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
We will not call you Elizabeth, I promise.
That's probably a good idea.